Hey everybody, Ron here with Solo Operative Games. Today we are at my table, and this month we are going to play a Daitoshi. This is a game published by Devir, and it's designed by Dani Garcia. It's also got the artist on here, Marina Vidal. Some very unique art that goes with this game. It is a steampunk-themed game, but it's got some kind of unusual things that go with that. It's not your typical steampunk. There's steam, which is great. There's inventions and factories. But there's also this like Lorax mechanic where these like spirits come out of the land and attack your factory. And there's also these pilgrims and just a few other weird little things. But it's a great game. It's got a rondel that is variable, so every time you set it up, it's going to be different. We can also expand that rondel to make the different actions more valuable or more proficient. And then we've got our production workshop that we're going to be building inventions and then exploiting to take resources. It's a great game. We're going to be playing the solo mode today. I'm the green player. We'll be playing against the mayor of Daitoshi himself, the purple player. And he does have a little bit of influence among Daitoshi, so he does get to cheat just a little bit. Okay, we also have a neutral worker that's going to be blocking a few spaces just to make it a little more interesting for the two-player game. And let's get started. I'll be teaching it as we play. To get set up, I've already got the board set up. We've got our hat token here in the middle, and we've got our worm bus. Yes, this bus is pulled by a worm. We've got point tokens here. We've got some inventions, some cities. We've got the mega machine itself. We are playing on machine 5, if that matters to you. This one is all about getting pennants out. And then we've got the different tracks up at the top of the board. Let's get going. We are the first player. The first thing we need to do is select a random starting invention. There's 4 of them to choose from. We'll just mix them up, and take one. We have been given the one that deals with energy. So we're going to slot that into our board down here as our first invention, and we're going to place our worker on the action that corresponds with energy, which is this one. I just shuffled these a minute ago. It's energizing. So we will be starting right here. That's correct. Energizing. The bot mayor, Mr. Mayor, will also be given a random starting invention, and he is the one associated with luxury goods. And so his worker will start on this one, the one with the little moth flying machine. So he starts there. I'm going to go ahead and lay us down just so it's easier for you guys to see on camera. We also then need to place the non-player character worker, and we're just going to draw a card off the mayor's deck and use this little grid system, I don't know, to determine where she starts. She's going to start in the bottom left. All right, there she is. And then we need one more to determine where the mega machine blimp thing goes, the Zeppelin. And oops, that's going to start in the top right. Now, normally this stands up and it goes around counterclockwise. Everybody moves clockwise except for the Zeppelin. So when I lay it down, it's going to look upside down. It's going to go this way. So put it right there, and we are good to go. All right, shuffle the mayor's deck back up. And we will give the mayor his starting cards. Now, these serve as a difficulty setting. The game recommends 3 cards for easy and 7 cards for very hard. Just so I can just do a demonstration of how the game plays, we'll just go in the easy mode and choose 3 cards for the mayor. And these are going to affect either its setup, something during the game, or something during endgame scoring. The first one we've got here says setup. Place a mayor's partnership banner in the leftmost city. Now, as the mayor travels to these cities, he's just going to go left to right, placing his banners. And once he has them all placed, he does this really nice action over and over again. So this just helps him get there quicker. So that's his first card, putting that banner out. Second card he's got says during setup, place a worker of each type on the mayor's factory worker spaces. So there are worker colors or little meeples in this game. They are shared, so you just have them as like a resource mainly, and you're going to place them out. So he's getting 1 of each type. Now, during the game, the mayor gains 5 victory points for each worker he can't gain because his spaces are full. So not only does he start with a ton of workers, every time he gains a worker and his storage space is full, he's going to gain 5 points. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and maybe put that right there just to remind me to do that. I might forget. Hopefully I remember. All right, his third card here is during the game, the mayor gains the conflict reward of any hex discarded from his exploitation record. This is in addition to any reward he might gain performing the action that removes that hex. All right, so that's a lot of text, and we're going to see how that works. But basically, when you do an action, it involves a certain land type, and so you might exploit the river here, and he's going to store those in his board. The way we work with them is a little bit different, but with the bot, it's just going to build them up and then spend them. And this just says whenever he gets rid of one for any reason, he's going to get the reward for doing that. A lot of spaces like this one here would say get rid of it, but don't get the reward. Well, he always gets the reward. Okay, that's enough for the setup cards. I don't know, those don't seem easy by far, but that's him. Okay, and then I think we are good to go. So we need to take the first action, and we are the green player, so we're going to start here, and we're going to be going around clockwise. We're allowed to take 1 to 2 steps for free, or we can take additional steps if we pay steam. Now, steam is one of the resources we have here. We start with 7. We also have 4 different resources here. We've got food, power, construction goods, and luxury goods, or construction material and luxury goods. We've also got wealth, and wealth is a wild resource for any 4 of these. And I do start with 1 of each of those. I start with 0 workers, other than like the bot. And then I contract my water production and my steam production with this little tower here. It's a big steam stack. Probably the least favorite component that most people I've heard of, just because it's so tall, it does get knocked over a lot. But there it is. Okay, so as we look around the action spaces, there are 4 main actions that you can do. There's an energize action, there is a trade with the cities action, there's expand the city action, and there is commit to an invention. And I really like doing that first because we only start with 1 invention, and I want to gain more. The problem with that is she's kind of blocking it. She's not really, because there are 3 worker spaces for every single action, and one of them is non-blocking, like anybody can go there. So you can't get blocked out of an action in this game. But seeing how we don't have any workers, it might be good to have a yellow worker when we go to this space. And we get yellow workers by exploiting the mountains. Is that right? Yes. And the mountains are the space we're on. So that, once again, not the greatest thing. Okay. So, do we want to go trade with a city? We could. That's this action that's next in the area. We could also construct. Construction, the best thing, as we get these tiles, as we exploit the land, construction is a good way to get rid of those tiles, because if you gain too many, those spirits start wrecking your factory. And construction is one of the best ways to deal with that. We don't have anything really to do. So I think I'm going to pay an extra steam, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces. So I do pay 1 steam for that. And then we'll do this action here. Now, the first thing I can do, if I had landed in one of the 2 left spaces and I used those, I would be paying steam to activate the worker placement spot. But I don't have any yellow meeples, so there's no point in paying for that. I can just skip that over. The next thing I do is exploit the land. This is a river tile. So we're going to take a river tile, and we're going to stick that on our board under the water. Now, whenever we do that, we exploit the land, so we get stuff. I get a blue meeple. That's great. It'll just go in my board here, and I get 2 water, so I'll go up this track twice. Now, as you're going up and down the track, if you are moving down and pass over a down arrow, you generate steam. If you're moving up and pass over an up arrow, you generate steam. Well, I moved up and passed over down arrows, so no steam. And that makes sense. I have water, but I have no coal to burn, so did not generate any steam. Then I can do the action. Now, the action corresponds down here, and I can buy up to 2 of these invention tiles. Now, they cost me food, and I have 1 food plus 1 wealth. So I could spend up to 2 food on these things. If you buy 2 different tiles, you do not get to activate them immediately. You'd activate when you actually your production turn. If you only buy 1 tile, you do get to activate it immediately. So the tiles I've got access to, this first one on the left is going to give me some energy. It's going to advance my inventions, make them stronger. This next one's got some luxury goods and some points. This one's got food and food. That's unusual to see two of the same icon on there, so that would be a good one to maybe go for. And then this one is going to advance me on the red pilgrim track and then get me a yellow meeple. Not the greatest early game. Having those meeples is nice, but I like having the base resources. So I think I want to get this one here. Now that's going to cost me 2 food, so I'm going to spend my food and my wealth. And I'm going to slot this guy in somewhere on in my buildings. Now, I have to build each building bottom to top, but I don't have to build like left to right or anything. So I could put it here. Now, if I did this and I wanted to produce, I'm going to have to pay to activate this building, which is 2 steam, and this building, which is 1 steam. So it's 3 total. Whereas if I put it here, I can just pay to activate a single building here and activate both of the inventions inside it. So that's what I will do. And because I only bought 1 invention tile, I get immediately activated, which gets me 2 food and 2 points. Look at me go, I already have points. And then I need to refresh this space. And that is the end of my turn. Okay, so let's see how a bot's turn works. It's going to flip over one of these cards. And it's then going to, I'm going to just put, let's put this here. It has this tile, it's called the bribe tile. It just basically adds this additional icon onto its card, so it always has this, just because that is a very good early action to do. I think the game, as they play tested or something, they're probably like, well, if the bot never does this, it really sucks. So they added this tile to say, hey, the bot should do this early if it can. So we've got these 3 icons. This is the commit to invention, this is expand the city, and this is energize. So that's the 3 actions it would like to do. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is whenever I land on the same space as the NPC player, she moves 3. So she is now over here. Does she? Yeah, I think she goes on the left space if that space is taken. Okay. Oh, the left space would be here. One sec. I want to mess that rule up like the first turn. I'm not used to playing with that NPC character. Now I got to find out where that is because it's not easy to find. Here we go. After advancing your magnate, if the magnate of the non-player character is in the space of your district, move the magnate 3 districts clockwise, place it in the middle space, or the leftmost space. Okay. Perfect. So she's actually going to go there. Back to the bot's turn. That's what we're doing. And again, it's going to try and either commit to invention, expand, or thing. So the next space along is here, which it wants to expand. And it does have enough to do that. And so it says, I'm going to do that. And it has a worker, so it will go here. Now, it doesn't generate any steam or pay any steam. But it does going to use its worker here. So its blue worker will go there and generate 3 steam. Hey, you don't get any steam. Sucks to be you. It's then going to exploit the land just like we did, but it puts it down here at the bottom. It will gain the rewards, which is a red meeple. It ignores the coal. And then it is going to... sorry, just one sec. Yes, then it's going to do expand. And so the only things it can do is the inner ring, because we haven't placed any inner rings where it could then do an outer ring. And these cost 2 construction goods. So it'll pay 1 construction good and 1 wealth. And then it's going to put this somewhere around the board. And for that, it's going to look at the card that it flipped over. And so the top left is where it wants to put it. All right. And the only thing this does is it gives an additional space to energize this section, which gives these little hat movements. But it also adds an additional worker placement spot where if I come here, I can place a worker here and a worker here and get both the rewards, or one or the other, it doesn't matter. So it just makes those spots a little more juicy, especially if you have workers. So workers become really important. Okay. So the purple did this, he expanded. Now when he expands, he's going to take this tile and put it right here. And this one has the little flame space, so that means he activates the flame ability. And the flame ability for a cave tile, which is what he has, is to move his worm bus. So he's going to move the worm bus. It's going to go 1, 2. He'll get an energy here. He ignores steam. But then remember, this says, the action says during the game, he's going to get the reward anytime a tile goes away. And this is in addition, so he's basically going to get this again. And so he's going to go here and here, ignore the steam. This is his reputation, which, oops, I have given him way too many points in reputation. He's going to get 2 victory points for his current reputation value. Okay, that was his turn. A little more complicated than mine. Okay, nothing needs to move because nobody's in the same space, and so it goes to us. Now, our next 2 actions, the one right above us is the Rolodex. It's called the Town Hall. It's basically a wild action. You get to do any action, but you do have to exploit 2 different land tiles. But it does allow us to place some any color workers. It's a wild worker space. And then the next one here would be to energize. Now, I only have 1 energy and no wealth, so I really can't do anything there. However, if I come here, I could put a worker here, get a construction good, and then I could do a construction action. So I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. So I'm going to move 1 space, and I'm going to go into the middle one, which is pay a steam. So I need to play 1 steam there, and that allows me the ability to put the worker on. Now I can place it on either one here. I'm going to do the one that gets me a construction good. So we'll go up there. And then I need to exploit first the river. So I'll take a river tile. Now I have 2 river tiles, and that's not good. That means at the end of my turn, if I still have 2 river tiles, this will flip over, and the water spirit will attack my machine. So we want to get rid of that on this turn if possible. But that does give me another blue worker and 2 more water. I cannot go above 5 water, so I need to start spending that water somehow. And as far as I know, I can't, since I moved on from the worker placement, I can't now add this blue worker to this spot. I've moved on from that ability. I'm on the next phase of the turn, so I can't do it. But now I can take any tile I want. I think where are we going to be going? Probably here, so we might need like red workers or green workers in our next action. So we should probably take a cave or a forest. Let's grab a... I'm not going to have enough energy to go here. Just thinking real quick. So we probably go back down here. Oh, I don't have a lot of construction goods either. This is probably the better one. So let's get a green. We'll go to let's go to a red. So we're gonna go to the cave and take a cave tile, which comes with a red worker or pink worker, I guess. And it comes with a coal. So my coal moves back down. I cross over a down arrow, so I generate 3 steam. That shows me right there. You get 3 steam. Okay, so we've exploited our 2 land tiles. Now we can do any action we want, and we're going to do the build action. And so I'm going to spend 2. Oh, I could just do food action again. I've got 2 more food. That would be pretty nice. If it had a way to get me energy. Oh, it does. If I only took 1. Huh. Oh, I wish there was one that had more energy. No, I'm just going to stick to my original problem, mainly because of the water tile there. So I'm going to spend 2 construction goods. Take this one. And I think I'll put it here since I'm going to be going there soon. I've got the red worker for it, so we'll do that. Yep. And then now I get to place my tile. So I'll put the water tile here. And I can activate its flame ability, which says advance on the blue pilgrim track. Now I think we should have those there. So I go on that track. That's all the pilgrim tracks are end game scoring, so we'll talk about them more a little bit later in the game about how each of them scores and why you might want to go up one track over the other. But yeah, so that is our turn. Like, it's like, what did we gain from that? We gained a worker, we gained some steam, and we placed out the tile that we got, right? It wasn't a net positive on tiles. Oh well. Okay, so I ended here. No thing needs to change with the workers, so the bot gets to go. And it's got the Mega Machine action, which it can't do because you need one of your inventions to have this little white dot on the threshold, which it can't. So it wants to do to grab a tile. Okay, a new invention. And then that happens to be the next one he's at. And he does have a yellow worker, so he will go here and spend that yellow worker, which moves his worm bus again. He's just cruising around the track. Gets him 2 victory points and energy. All right. Now he'll take a water tile, stick it right there. Water tile gets him a blue worker. He's then going to do the action. He only has 1 food and no wealth, so he's just going to take a simple one, and this says here that he wants to do the bottom one in case of a tiebreaker, and so he's going to put that there. But does he activate it immediately? Let's read on the rule book for his actions. Let's see. It does say to flip these over. It doesn't really matter, but anyway. So we're looking at commit to an invention. He prioritizes taking 2 if he can. If he can only take 1, he'll take the most expensive food he can take, getting its rewards and VP as usual. All right. So he does activate this immediately, which gives him a luxury good and 2 points. All right. So much for my lead on points. He's now winning 6-2. Thank you, Mayor. And that is the end of his turn. Yes, we just need to refill this space here. Wild one. This one's got power, resource, or the water pilgrim movement. That's okay. All right, nobody ended up in a overlapping space, so everything stays the same. Yeah, this Zeppelin moves pretty slow. It's only going to move if someone goes to that action. So I've got 2 food, I've got 1 energy, and 1 construction good. So not a lot of things I can do. I could produce. Produce is not a bad action right now for me. A lot of games, like production is seen as bad, like you do when you can't do anything else. But in this game, the production turns can get you a significant amount of points and a lot of resources. So it's so nice that you cannot do it twice in a row. There's this little token that says, "Hey, after you produce, it's off limits for the next turn." So yeah, so producing is not horrible. I tend to still fall back to that same thing of like, oh, if I can do an action, I should do it. But you know, you probably shouldn't always do it unless it's a good action. Okay, so we don't have enough to energize. I'm going to green meeple. Skip that space. We do have a red meeple here, and we have got a spot for a forest. That's not horrible. And we could trade with a city because we have lots of steam. Yep, I think I want to do that. Sure. No, I don't. I don't want to do that. The problem is the next action I really want to do is all the way back here. This space right here, this 7 steam space, is amazing, but you want to come here with 5 luxury goods. Like, if you're going to pay 7 steam, you want the 5 luxury goods. So if I can get that up there, that would be amazing, which definitely means I might want this tile here. So let's produce. Okay, here's what happens in the production turn. We notch this little cog over to the right saying, hey, we are the producer. All that really does is because other players can follow our action and also produce when someone produces, that just means, hey, I'm the current player. I'm the production master. So after this production turn, whoever is next after me will know it's their turn, just in case somebody forgets. So that's why that's there. And so when I produce, I'm going to follow all of my inventions. Well, I got to pay 2 steam to activate that building. And then I activate all my inventions on the blue check marks and the pink check marks. And so on this invention, it's got blue and pink on the wealth, so I generate 2 wealth. And then it's got X's on the other 2, so we ignore those. It's then got a blue on the food, so we go up on food. and then X's on the others. And that's all we got. So that's why you really want to have some extra tiles, so when you do produce, it's more worth it. But then because I did a production of this building, I move all of these cubes 2 spaces on their tracks. And as it goes higher, they get better. They upgrade, and then you've got a lot more blue check marks. They become eligible for to be traded into the Mega Machine, and they gain you victory points. So that's there. Now the bot will always follow if he can, and he doesn't spend any steam. So he's going to do, when you follow, you only get the blue check marks, no pink. So he's going to get a wealth, and he's going to get a luxury good. And then his cubes only bump 1 space. Well, anytime you follow somebody else, you only bump 1 space. Okay. Now, I have a question on this bot's turn. He did this action, but it was on his card. Does he lose the bribe tile? Let's check the rules. Okay, so the bribe tile. The mayor can't perform this action unless he has at least 1 food or wealth. Yeah, blah, blah. The first time the mayor performs the action, discard the bribe tile. The bribe tile is gone. Okay. And my production turn's over, so I'm going to flip it over to the you cannot produce tile, and we'll go to the mayor, who will flip a card. Now, he wants to either energize, which he can do, or get another invention. And so he will skip over the wild action, because that's not on his card. He's going to come to this one. He does have a green worker, so he'll come here, place that green worker, and this says get rid of a tile, so he's going to get rid of this blue one. And remember, anytime he gets rid of a tile, he gets the reward. A blue tile gives you a bump on the pilgrim, the river pilgrim. Okay. He's then going to take a mountain and put that there. The mountain gives him a yellow meeple. I think these technically slide. I don't know. There's something to do with like tiebreakers when he can place wilds, but I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. Maybe it'll matter. So he placed the green worker. He got rid of a tile. He then took a mountain, which gave him a yellow worker. He's now going to energize. And when he does the energize, I think he's going to do this 3 energy action since he can afford it. Prioritizing electrifying the outermost section he can pay for, which is that one. All right. So he's going to do this one here. He's going to pay 3 energy, go to 0. He's then going to move his hat, which is here, and that's going to give him 2 luxury goods. He's then going to take this action, which for a red tile is move the bus twice. Oops. His worm bus will go boom, boom. Gives him nothing because he doesn't deal with steam. And then he's going to do this, which is move his hat again. That's going to advance 2 cubes on his inventions. I think his tiebreakers for that is he wants to go on the track that's the longest, like he's furthest away from advancing it. Let's check that. The most steps left to reach the progress. In case of a tie, choose between the tied options from bottom to top, left to right. So these are both tied, so he'll go bottom to top and move this one. Actually, it's 2 separate movements, isn't it? So he technically would go up on this one, and then his new tiebreaker is whichever one has the most steps left. So he goes actually up 1 on each. Okay, and that was his action. Now this becomes energized, and now this action here, the worker spot has become improved. So yeah, as we build out the city of Daitoshi and then send energy everywhere, it gets better. Okay, now one more thing to do is he is in this tile, and that actually, I think, changes his action because I forgot he can place a worker here. Hold on, back it up. Back it up. It's hard to see that Zeppelin when it's laying down. Let's see. He chooses amongst the available actions, Mega Machine, then outer, then middle, then inner. Okay. So, rather than place this green worker here, he actually puts it on the Zeppelin, which puts it here, and gives him a wealth tile. So he takes back his water tile that he did not get rid of there. And he takes back the reward he got from that, which is the purple. Okay. So that was because he was in the same action as the little Zeppelin. So he did this work instead. Now, whenever you are in the same space as the Zeppelin moves, so that's going to be over here now. It's a bummer for me, I can't go there. Okay, my turn. I am freshly produced, so I have a lot of resources. We do have some wealth and a luxury goods, so we could do some luxury goodage. Not see. This one's okay. It's the next time we produce, we would gain a pilgrim, an extra worker, and an extra wealth. But it would take 3 luxury goods to activate that. 3 luxury goods here is pretty good as well. But we don't have enough steam for that, so we'd have to go somewhere we generate steam. This can be a bad thing because you'd be like, oh, I have so much steam, and then you pin 7, and you're like playing catch up for a while. This one's not bad. Gains you 9 victory points the next time you take water. Yeah, maybe we just go get some more inventions. The problem is it's so far away. We could use our wealth to energize. Energizing moving our hat gives us luxury. Okay, that might not be bad. Let's do that. Okay. I don't have a green worker, and he's blocking the spot anyway, so I'm just going to come to the no worker spot, pay nothing. I'm then going to take a mountain tile. That comes with a yellow worker. And it comes with a coal, which generates me steam. So I have 9 now. And then I'll do the energize action. Now he took the really nice one for 3. I've only got the inner ones, which only cost 2. So I'll spend 1 energy and 1 wealth to do an energize. And I would like coal, so I'm looking at maybe either this one, or this one. Where am I going next? I was thinking of coming here, right? So if we make this... Oh, wait, there is a better one here, isn't there? Let's do this one. So I need to spend 1 more energy. So now that's 3 energy. I get a wealth. So I get that the wealth I just spent right back. I get the blue spirit bonus, which is move on the river. And I move my hat, which gives me 2 luxury goods. Ooh, that's looking good. Okay. And then we get rid of this, and we flip this. Okay. Looking good. Okay. And that is the end of my turn. Yes, nothing is doubled up. I think we're good. Okay, but flipping this, it would like to expand, which it can. Well, I guess it could because it does have wealth, or it wants to get inventions. It's going to do the expand one. So he's going to go 1, 2. All right, so he needs to go here because he has a blue worker, but this blue worker is blocking it. So the leftmost space says pay 2 steam to remove all the workers. Send them all home for the day. He doesn't have to pay steam, so the worker just goes home. And then he installs his own worker. The night shift guy comes in, who's working today. He's like, you can go home, I got a replacement for you. That will get him 3 steam. Doesn't matter for him. He ignores it. He's then going to take a cave. That cave gives him a red worker. Oh, he's got so many red people. So he's got the red worker. Then he is going to expand the city. So he'll pay 2 construction materials. Take this one. And he would like him to do the top right, which happens to be open. So he'll build that. He's then going to take the top one of his tiles off and place it here. And then remember, that has the fire, so he's going to get that bonus twice because of this card, which is move his bus. And so he's going to go 4 spaces on the bus, which gives him 2 points, 2 points, energy, nothing. Okay, that's his worm bus sent along. And that's his action. Okay, he's not with her, he's not with the machine, so nothing moves, and it goes to us. Okay. I've got a red worker. We just upgraded this spot, so let's come here. I do need to spend 1 steam. We're down to 8. I'll then place my red worker. Now I have a choice of either this one or this one. This one would move along the river twice. This one gives me a whelp I will happily take. And move my bus 3 times, which is an energy, a steam, and a steam. Trade a 1 for a 3. Oh, we got tons of steam. I'll take a forest. Now I'm maxed at this point. I have 1 of each. So I've got to find ways to get rid of tiles. And I'm about to do that right now. We are going to go all in on this action. Oh, I do gain another coal for this green forest, right? Yeah, green forest. Green worker coal gives me 3 more steam. Okay, good, because I'm about to spend a ton. So with my trade action, I'm going to go to the far right city, which costs 7 steam. Pay that. And then I'm going to spend 5 luxury goods. So 1, 2, 3, and 2 wealth to do all of these actions. And you can do them in any order. First one's easy, or third one here. Let's just get 12 victory points. So go 2 to 14. I've then got to place one of my banners here on this city. And this says the next time that I trade with one of these cities, I get to remove a tile. Okay, great. But the orange banner here says I get to do that right now. So let's get rid of one. I'm going to get rid of my blue. And it's got the flame icon on it, so that means I get the reward, which is move up the river track. I'm cruising up the river. That's great. The other 2 things I've got on here, well, I've got 2 hat movements, so let's get that. First hat movement is going to get me 2 bumps on my inventions. I'm going to actually put them on the same invention. Right? No, I'm not. I'm going to do the same thing the bot did, 1 in each. Because now when I produce next time, they'll both upgrade. Do I want to do that? No. I'm putting 2 on the bottom one. Went back, thought about it. I'm putting 2 down here, none on there. Okay. My second bump with my hat, I get to go up on any river. So the water is kind of generic. It gives you points and it rewards you for having no tiles at the end of the game. The mountain track, and it's on the player aid, and I'm going to have to refer to it because it's not always easy to remember. The mountain track is based on how far you've moved all these cubes over on your inventions. The forest one is how many times you've gone to the mega machine. So you've got 4 tiles possible here. So you get a multiplier times how many of these you have. You usually end up with 1 or 2. It would be hard to get 3, but it could be done. The underground rewards you for your reputation. Right now it's a 2, and you get rep by moving this hat around every time you do a loop. You gain your reputation up. And then we already mentioned the river. So that's reason you might go up on different tracks. Since I haven't really locked in any strategy yet, I think I'm just going to go up on the river and keep it pretty generic for now. All right, and then the last thing I do, I get rid of 1 more tile and gain the reward. So I'm going to get rid of my mountain. My mountain? Yes. Yes, my mountain. Mountain goes away. I do get the flame reward for that, which is to move your cube up again. And there we go. Hey, I've upgraded my invention. It's got a lot more blue check marks. Gets me a lot more stuff when I produce. And that is why that one is amazing. It's super expensive. I paid 7 steam and 5 luxury goods for it, but it was well worth it. Okay. Bot's turn. Actually, not quite the bot's turn. I am with the lady, so she's going to go 1, 2, 3. And now it's the bot's turn. He would like to trade, or he'd like to get an invention, and the invention coming up next. He does have a yellow worker, so he'll go here, send this worker home, and install his own worker, which moves his bus twice. Steam 2 points. Okay. Then he will take a water tile. That water tile will get him a blue worker. And then he will take an invention. He currently has 1 food only. Hey, I like this. Nice when he only gets to buy 1 thing. And his tiebreaker is the bottom one, so he'll take this one. Oh, and you know what? He actually puts them this way. I forgot he goes across. So when he did that one before, this is the longest track. So he would have moved this up twice. All right. Put that in the comments below that we had an issue, but we have corrected it in the order the way he builds his inventions. Okay. So he only clicked one tile, so he does activate it. He gets an energy. He goes up on the river, and he gets a point. Okay. That's good. Refill this one. It's got food. It's got red, pilgrim, and point. Got like hair on the board. Okay. Do we need to move anybody? No, we do not. So it is our turn, Mr. Green dude. Monopoly man looking dude. Let's see. What do we got? I've got food. The problem is he's here and there's a worker there, so I can't spend my yellow worker if I go there. So I could skip this and come back here where the Mega Machine is. Then I could go get this whelp, or I could get this hat. Ugh. I want more workers of the same color. And cave just gets me red. That doesn't help. I'd have one of each. I want to get multiples. This one would get me blue. Plus, if I took a tile, I'm going to take this one. Yes, that's the plan. Okay, so we are going 1, 2. I'm not doing any worker, unfortunately, but I will take a river. The river gets me blue meeple. 2 water, no steam. Then I do the commit to an invention. I'm going to spend 3 food to take this tile and install it up here. Because I only took 1, I activated it immediately, which is 2 luxury goods, a red worker, and 3 victory points. Okay. Mr. Bot, what would you like to do? Yeah, we're good. He can do any action at all, pretty much. Or even the wild action, and that's what he's going to do, because that's the next one on his trek. So he's going to come here. He's got workers, so he'll go to the clear worker space. And that clears it out of here. It also clears workers out of the Mega Machine, or out of the Zeppelin, because the Zeppelin is there. So these workers go home. Now he's then going to spend workers, and it's a wild, and he's got 3 red, so I assume he puts red in. Remember, he goes here first, gains a wealth. He then goes to the outer district, which gets him a hat. Well, I guess it's the middle district. A hat, which gives him any pilgrim. What does he do when he takes any pilgrim? Any pilgrim on the track matching the color leftmost hex at the top of his deck. So that is this one. He goes up on the red track. He's purple. He goes up there. Okay. So that was his hat. Now he's going to get his reputation points, which is 2. And he's going to put a 3rd worker out. Which is good for us, because remember, if he runs out of space for workers, he gets 5 points. So I'm not too upset that he's putting all these workers out. He gets a construction good. Okay. He then is going to take 2 tiles. So he will take a river tile. What's the order that he takes these in? I think you go left to right. So he would take the wild one first. And when he takes the wild one, he's going to take the red. So he's going to the cave. Cave gives him red worker. Then he goes to the river. Because he's full, his machine never gets wrecked. So this one just goes out of the game. But he doesn't get a worker for it, right? Let's verify that. That's what I feel I remember, but it's always like, that might not happen. Let's see. Let's see. Gotcha. Yeah, I did that. Gains a work of the corresponding hex. Flip the hex. If it already has 4... Oh, no. He does get the worker of the corresponding hex. Yep. If he already has 4 hexes, discard the new hex instead. So he does get it, but he just ignores it. The tile. Fine, you cheater. Okay, then he's doing the Rolodex action, which lets him do any action. Now, we gotta look up what that means. Okay, so when he's doing the Town Hall wild thing, he will perform the action for which he has the most resources. And if it's a tie, it will do this. So it's obviously going to be trade, because he's got 5 of those. And when he does that, he's just going to put a flag down on the next city, right? And how many does he have to spend when he does that? You choose the leftmost city where there's no banner, and he will choose to spend up to 5 resources getting all the rewards. Okay, so he went here. He's going to spend all 5 of his luxury goods. You should have gone here to it's much better, but that's all right. He's going to gain 3, 6, 9 points, 24. And he's going to place a banner. What does that give him? Because he just put a banner there. Oh, maybe that would have been what his banner got placed. Never mind. Okay, so he placed the banner there because of this, and then he gets the reward of the banner, which is 4 steam, which he ignores. Oh, that's beautiful for us. Okay. He's with the lady, so she goes 1, 2, 3, and the Zeppelin is going to fly over here. Right where we are. Again, we can't go to it unless we go all the way around. A lot of worker placement games says you can't go back to the place you started. This one guy says go for it. You just got to pay the steam. So it would cost you 3 steam to go all the way around, which is not a big deal. Yeah, when you're playing this as advice, I wouldn't just be hung up on the 2 actions that are free. If there's a much better action, go all the way around and do it. For us, however, we have 2 luxury goods and 1 power and no wealth at all. So it might be, oh, and this has been up there for a little while because we took a normal turn. It might be a production action for us again. Are we doing that? I think we are. Because we've now got this good one up here. Yeah, let's go ahead and produce. So notch this forward. I'll pay my 2 steam. Activate this building here. Blue check marks gives me 2, or blue and pink gives me 2 wealth, an energy, and a point. 1 food, nothing, 2 luxury goods, and nothing. Okay. Then we're going to go up 2 bumps on every track. And now this one here, our starting one, is now eligible to be sent to the Mega Machine to be upgraded. That's awesome. So this one will come in, and this one will come out. Yeah, much better one. Still got a 1 wealth, but it's got 2 wild workers and 4 points versus energy and 1 point. Okay, so that was our production. We are done. We move that here. He follows. He's going to get his blue check marks, so he's getting a wealth. And it always sucks because you're like helping the bot, but whatever. He's getting a luxury good, and he's getting an energy. And then he bumps all these up by 1. And this one actually upgrades on the first bump. It's crazy. And the reason I haven't put him over here is it's 4 steam to run this building. The tracks are much better, but it's expensive to run. All right, that was my production turn, so we'll go to the bot. Yep, he's going to flip. He would like to trade or expand. He can do either. So what's coming next for him? It's going to be trade. Boop, boop, boop. And he's got a red worker, so he'll put that there and go up 2 spaces on the river. He's going to take a forest tile, and this will give him a green worker. He's not technically removing it, so I don't think he gains the flame reward for that. He just ignored it. He's then going to trade, so he's going to come here. He's coming up to 5 luxury goods. Well, he's got 3, so 1, 2, 3. And so he's going to get a pennant or a flag, 5 victory points, and the orange reward, which is 2 times his current reputation, which is 2, so 4 more points. You can see the trade action is really nice for points if you can get the luxury goods to do it. I've got a lot. But I really need to get rid of some tiles. The best way to do that, if I move my hat, which would be done through energizing, I would get rid of one. If I came here with a green worker, which I do, oh, look at those. I get rid of two if I had two green workers. I don't have two green workers, but that's an amazing the way that lined up. The other way is to build. Now, I don't have any construction goods, but I do have 2 wealth I could do. But I think I need to energize this while it's so nice. Where am I? I'm here. Yeah, I think it's in range. So let's go and do that. We'll go 1, 2. I'm going to pay 1 steam. Place my worker down. Doesn't really matter. They're the same actions. I'll put him there. That gets rid of a 1 tile, but I don't get the flame bonus. So let's go ahead and take the green one, forest, out of the game because I think I'm coming here next. So I've got that. We're going to take a mountain. I've got room for that. That's good. I get a yellow worker. And I get a coal, which generates 3 steam. And we've managed the spirits pretty nice. They haven't attacked us yet, which is great. That was my mountain. Now I do an energize action. I will spend 3 energy. So 1, 2, 3. To do this, which is get 2 steam. It is take the red reward, which is move my bus twice. And that is going to be all points. 2 times my rep, which is 2, so I get 4 points. And then it's going to be move my hat. My hat moves there and gets rid of another tile. I'm going to get rid of the water tile. And again, there's no reward on that. Just removing it, which is good. Good in itself. That's what we aimed this turn to do, is get rid of a bunch of tiles. And that's out of the game, and this is flipped. Okay. That was our turn. Nothing to move? Nope. So the bot goes. Bot wants to do any action, whatever it can. So can it build? No. Can it take this? Yes. So we'll go 1, 2. It does not have a yellow worker, so we'll go here. Although, no, yeah. It doesn't have a yellow worker at all. So it's going to go there. It's going to take a river. Now the game ends when this gets the second to last one. So if we take a lot more rivers, this could end the game really quick. He gets the blue worker for it and ignores the tile. He's only got 1 food, so spend 1 food. He wants the bottom one, so he's going to take this one, put it there. He doesn't produce a lot, does he? I guess if we keep producing and giving him resources, he'll just keep taking turns. But that's okay. That's okay with me. Okay. Does he do anything else? He's here. Nope. Oh, he does activate that tile because he only took 1. So he gets a food, gets a red pilgrim, and a point. Okay. That, yeah, he is with the Zeppelin, so the Zeppelin flies down here. And that's his turn. Okay, back to us. We've got a little bit of food and a lot of luxury goods. So I think we'll do the luxury goods action. Let's come here. Now I've got 1 red worker. Do I want to pay to clear them out? I think I do. So I'm going to go to this one, spend 2 steam. I'll clear both of those, send them home, install my own, which gives me wealth, and 3 bus, energy, steam, steam. So it's like getting the steam right back that I just spent. So we're up to 8. It's hard to see because it all kind of stacks on the board, but just know that I have 8. Take a forest, which gives me green worker, and coal, which generates steam. Okay. And then trade with the city. Now remember, this thing I installed last time says anytime I do with a trade action, I can remove my flag to get rid of a tile. So I will do that. And I'm going to get rid of the What do I got? Probably the forest one that I just took. I do get the bonus, so that gives me a food. Okay. Then, which city do I want to fly to? I think I'm going to be taking a water tile, so let's go to this one. And I'm going to spend all 5 luxury goods. So I've got 4 luxury goods plus a wealth to do all actions. That's going to be to take 12 victory points. So 34. I'm tied. Cool. Then I'm going to move my hat. Now, moving my hat says move your reputation up and place a pennant anywhere you want. So I'm going to put it back on this one, the one we just removed it from. Sounds good. Then I've got the green flag, so I'm going to put my pennant here. That means next time I take a water tile, I get 9 points. And then I've got the brown flag, which says do that immediately, so I get 9 more points. That was nice. 43. You can see the back of my head. Wonderful. Okay. Never glance up at the camera like that. That was a good turn, I think. I didn't get to remove as many tiles as when I went here, but that's okay. We got a lot of points. That's us? Yes. Okay. Bot, what are you doing? Oh, do I need to handle any movement? No, nobody's in this area. Okay. Bot. He wants to either energize or get an invention. He's already at the invention, so he's going to do energize, and he does have enough. He has a green worker, so go here. Spend that green worker. 2 steam, he'll ignore, remove the tile. Now, normally he wouldn't get the bonus, but this says he does, which is move his bus twice. And that is 2 points and an energy. All right, now he'd like to energize, and now he's stuck with you can only energize the inner ring, so 2 energy to do that. And he wants to do the bottom one. This worker goes away. She is going to just move for a second and come right back. But he does get a coal, which he ignores, and a hat, which removes this. Gives him a blue, which is that. Okay. Now this action is better. Placing a blue worker gives you 5 steam now. Alright, he is in this area. He's done with his actions. Okay, for us. We don't have a lot. We do have a little bit of food, so we could try and get some more inventions. But I'd like to go to the Mega Machine. And that is going to be here, and I'm here. So as long as nobody goes there, I can come next turn and get this. But I need to produce first. And this should be back up here, right? Yes. Okay, so we're going to produce just so we can have enough resources to do the Mega Machine action. Hopefully we have enough. So let's gain all this stuff. So first, remember blue and pink check marks. I get 2 wealth. And that's going to be key in having enough resources. 1 energy, 1 victory point. Ugh, I probably should do them all at once, but it's all right. This one is just a food. And this one is just 2 luxury goods. Okay. Then we're going to go up twice. This one goes to the max. That little red mark there says collect its points again. So I get another 1 point. This one goes up twice, and that's going to upgrade it. This one goes up twice, which will upgrade it and score the points, which is 3. So you can see as you upgrade these, you can get a lot of points from the production. Oh, I did have to pay 2 steam to do that. Why is there a blue worker in the steam pile? Okay, so activated that building. Done. That was our production. He's going to follow us. And so blue check marks. He's going to get a wealth. He's going to get a luxury. He's going to get a power. He's going to do all these because this one's upgraded. A blue river pilgrim, a victory point, and a food. Okay, and then he's going to bump all of these by 1. Upgrades that. That gives him 1 point. Okay. Looking good. Looking good for us, technically. I think it's going pretty well. Bot's turn. He wants to energize or trade. He does have 3 energy, and he does have 1 trade good, so he'll do either of those actions. And so he's coming here. No, he can't bump the workers out, and he technically doesn't have any red workers, so he goes here. He's going to take a forest. And the forest reward is a green meeple. You slide. So he got the forest. Okay, now he's going to trade. He's going to come to this city because he's been to all the other three. He only likes to come to cities he's never been to. So he comes to this city, but he only has technically 2 luxury goods to spend. 1 luxury good and 1 wealth. So he gets the first 2 rewards, which is 6 points. Not bad. I mean, we're only getting 2 rewards. And he gets his pennant. So now he has a pennant on the 4th. Any other times he does the action, he's going to come here, and it's the best one, right? Okay. He's not with, yeah, so that doesn't, nothing affects that. His turn is over. Okay, let's execute our plan. We do have blue workers, so we're going to come, hopefully I have enough steam for this, come here and clear out the workers, because I want to come here too. That costs me 2 steam, and that sends this worker home. Now I'm going to spend my workers. I need a blue worker here, which gives me 5 steam. I'm going to just get 6 and put 1 back. And then I'll put a blue worker. This one with the little arrow says it has to match the color of the one it's pointing to. So the Zeppelin's here, it's a blue worker, so this must be blue as well. And I get 1 wealth for that. That's really nice. Okay. Then I need to do a cavern exploit, which is not great. Because that's our second cavern. That's okay, I guess. That's red worker, coal, which is steam. I'm back in the middle, so it's evened out. And now I could do this build action, but I choose to do the mega machine action. Now I have to have one of my inventions at the white dot level, and this one is, so I'm just going to put it over here. For now, we're going to move it here in a minute. Now, to do the action, I have to spend 1 of every good, including wealth. So I spend 1 food, 1 energy. I'm going to have to spend wealth for the construction. 1 luxury good, and 1 wealth. Okay. Then I get to take this, and I get to put it on any of these 4 spaces. Well, I would always put it here, right? 10 victory points. 58. And I get to place 2 banners. So I'm going to put the banners on here and here. This one, when I produce next, I'm going to get some extra rewards. This one, when I energize, I'll get my reputation times 2, which is 6 points. So it's not nothing. And I already had 2 on the nicer ones anyway. Then I'm going to take the mega invention and replace my old invention. It keeps its upgraded state as well. And then this little tile is going to come out here, making this worker placement better in the future. You'll get 1 wealth, but you also get 3 bus. Worm bus movement. Okay, that was brilliant. Okay, I shouldn't tout myself. That was a good, decent move. It was very rewarding. Okay, the Zeppelin's going to fly on, and the NPC is going to move 3 spaces, and it is the bot's turn. Okay, the bot wants to do anything. He's going to do whatever he can. So it looks like it's going to be, well, he doesn't have any wealth, right? So he can't build, he can't trade, and so he's going to come here again. Wow, he's just going to keep getting inventions. He doesn't have a yellow worker, so he'll come here. He's going to take a water tile, almost pushing the end of the game. 2 more water tiles, we'll do that. Another blue worker, look how many blue workers he has, that's nuts. And then he's going to take an invention. He does have 2. He'll spend both of them, and let's see. This is the first time he's had 2 before. Oh, and I see that I have to remove. When he has 2, he takes 2 ordinary inventions to level 1. Let's see what those are first, because I forgot to refill. So he's going to take both of these and spend them like that. Now, because he took 2, he does not get any rewards for doing that until he produces again. Okay, he's got a lot of stuff, so anytime I produce, it's gonna be helping him quite a bit. So maybe I don't want to produce that often. Since I only have 3 inventions, this is really rare for me. Usually I have a lot more inventions by now. But it's just the way it's worked. It's working out. I don't need to produce as much apparently. All right, the bot landed here. Nobody needs to move. It is our turn. Okay. I have a little bit of wealth, so I could do kind of any action I want. So maybe I do come here. I do have a yellow worker. Just move my bus. Well, that's not bad right now. Okay. So I'm going to follow the magnate, the mayor. Come here to wipe them. I need to spend 2 steam to do that. I've got plenty. So that yellow worker goes home. Install my own to move my bus. Where am I? My bus gives me rep, which is 6 points. Okay. And then I take a water tile. Ooh, the game is getting close. That does a few things. It gives me a blue worker. It gives me 2 water. It gives me no steam. But it also activates this, so I take my pennant off and get 9 victory points. Okay. That is that. Yep. And then I do this action. I've got 2 food plus 2 wealth, so I could take up to 4. So maybe we take the 3 and the 1. Now, the only thing you need to caution yourself is taking too many production tiles that give the same resource. I have already got one that gives me 2 food, so having another one that gets food is not the best. So what if I do 2 level 2s instead of a 3 and a 1? I think I'm going to do that. They're not great. But yeah, that's fine. We'll take these 2. And I'm going to put them... We are nearing the end of the game. No, I'm putting them here. That's fine. Okay, so I spent 2 food plus 2 wealth. I took 2 tiles, so I activate neither of them. And we refill. And this action... Oh, and this is the one place I don't have a flag. I would have gotten 4 steam if I had a flag there. I do not. Okay. Nothing moves, goes to the bot. The bot would like to do any action again. Okay. Excuse me. I think I coughed right in the mic. I am so sorry, guys. Getting over a cold. It does have the wild action up here as well. So he will come to this wild space. He does not have any... Oh, it doesn't matter what workers he has. He's going to clear them out because they're wild workers. And he'll put his 2 blues there. And so he's going to get a hat movement. He's purple. Oh, that does reset him. So he's going to get a certificate, his rep. He's going to put his last pennant out. And he's going to get construction. Good. Okay. Then he'll take any color. The color is going to be the red. That gives him a red worker. Okay. Then he's going to take a blue. Oh, and that triggers the end of the game. Wow. Okay, that went quick. And then he's going to do the Rolodex action. Is whatever he has the most resources will be the energize. So he's going to spend 2 energy and energize this one, which gives him a coal and a hat. 2 luxury goods for that. Okay. That was a great last action. Okay, so I went first. He triggered the end of the game. We would finish that round, which technically that round is now over, and we each get 1 final turn. Wow. That was a very fast game. So I need to think about points then, right? I mean, we're already beating him by significant. We're like up 30 on him, so I don't think he stands a chance. I don't have a lot of resources, so we might just have to produce. Production is a ton of points right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to produce. Can I? Did I produce last turn? Oh, and look at this. I did not realize I don't think it's going to affect us. Oh, it will affect us. This one's a bad one. We have 2 of these tiles. So this spirit gets angry at the end of our last turn, or maybe it was even before that. Oh, crap. I might have missed this. Sorry, guys. I don't think it would have been an effect, but when this guy gets mad, he flips this over, and you can only hold 2 workers. So the workers we got last were the blue and the, well, definitely a blue and probably green. So I think those are gone. They died to the spirit. Sorry about that. I forgot. Okay. So let's think about points. We have all these pennants out. So if we can trigger one of those, especially the 7, we do have enough steam to go here, but we only have 1 luxury good. All it does is move my hat. Which gives me 2 more luxury goods. And I think I read that anytime you get resources during that same phase of a turn, you can then spend them. I think that might be our best action. 6 points if we can trigger the electrify. We don't have the energy for that. If we produce, we get a couple extra things. No, I think this is going to be our best action. Okay. So let's go to this one. I'm green, right? So I got 1, 2. I spend 1 steam. Be able to place a worker. Place the red worker. Go up 3 on the river track. Yeah, that's going to get some decent points. And then we're going to take a forest. Comes with a green worker and coal, which generates steam. I'm then going to fly to this city for 7 steam. Pay 9 and get 2 back. All right. And because I'm doing a trade action, I can remove my pennant to get rid of a tile. I'm going to get rid of, just looking at my bonuses here to see if this mountain one is worth it, but I don't think it is. Could be 3 points here. I think I'm going to get it anyway. Let's go ahead and remove the mountain. That gives me a bump on any track, so I'll bump this track for 3 points. Then I'm going to spend 1 luxury good, which gives me a hat, which gives me 2 more luxury goods that I will then spend for 12 victory points. Now this is a creative interpretation of the rules, I guess you could say. And the forums that says when you get a resource during the action, as long as it's the same phase of the action, you can then spend those immediately. Put a flag up and trigger the flag, which will remove this blue one and move me up on the water. Okay, I think that gave me more points than if I just did a production turn. But anyway, yeah, end the game with my factory a little bit wrecked. Bot's final turn. It didn't even go through its whole deck of cards. We just all liked the blue, right? The blue worker. We did the these 2 actions a bunch. Okay. He would like to build or trade. He's got enough to do either. Oh, I did need to move this Zeppelin at the end of my turn. So he is going to skip this space, go to trade. He does have red workers, so he'll go here and clear these out, spending his own. This gets him whelp and 3 bus. Ignore 3 points. Okay. Then he's going to take a forest. This goes out of the game with the green worker. And he's going to do the trade. So he's going to come here and he's going to spend every luxury good that he can. He has 1, 2, 3. He can basically do the same action I have. So he's going to move his hat. His purple gives him 2 bumps. The one that's furthest would, I guess, be this one. Okay. And then he's going to gain any river or any whatever, and he's got the green one, so he's actually going to go up on the forest. Okay. I didn't move my pilgrims at all. That was a crazy game. So that was his 2 bumps for his hat. He's then going to place a flag and execute the flag, so he's going to get rid of this one. And that gives him a river movement. And he's going to get 12 points. Okay. That is the end of the game. Let's go into scoring. The first thing we do is we see if he has any end game cards. He does not. And this one was nice. It never triggered. He did start with a ton of workers. And maybe that was what pushed the game along, because he used those workers to get a lot of resources. He never needed to produce a lot. I don't know. It was kind of a weird game. So we just go around to final scoring, and that first we just execute all 4 pilgrim tracks. So the forest track, he's on once. He would go this many points, which is 2. Actually, I think he scores the points first. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm correct on that. So first we resolve the effects in the end of game. Then they score the positive VP for each of his pilgrims. So he is going to get 2, 3, and 6 for a total of 9 points there. And these are points I don't get. They're not part of normal scoring. Just bonus for being the cheater mayor. Okay. Then he just executes the river stuff as normal, right? Yes. The first and third steps of the multiplayer scoring. All right, first and third steps. The first is the different tracks, and then he doesn't get negative for the river. Awesome. And then he gets points for extra resources. Okay. So we will do the force track first. He gets 2 points times the number of Mega Machine inventions he has. 0. I get also 0 times 1. 0. We go to the mountain track. We both get 0 times the number of cubes reached the end of the track. Well, I have 1 that reached the end. Never went up the mountain, so 0. We then go to the underground. He is on the underground. He gets 1 times his reputation, which is 3 big points. I get 0. Then we go to the river. I get 8 times the number of empty spaces here, so 16. That's going to take me up to 104. And there's this nice little pet flag I can flip over for 100. He is going to get 6 times his empty spaces, which is just 6. That's good. Now I only lose 5 points for it because I didn't go all the way up the river. So I go back 5. Oh, 99. He doesn't score this. Now we do the extra stuff. So we add everything extra that he has, divide by 2. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 points. I have 1, 2, 3. Steam doesn't count, so I get 1 point. Oh, wow, I finished on 100. Okay. I don't know if that was very indicative of every single solo game, because in the multiplayer games, this game can you get hundreds, even multiple hundreds, 250 some points, depending on how these things come out. But that solo game we just flew through it with all those river tiles that we were taking, and that can happen in the game. It can go quick. Hope you guys liked it. I really liked this game, Daitoshi. The solo game, maybe not as much. I really love the multiplayer. The solo experience was okay. And I just didn't feel a lot of pressure from the bot. I felt like it was more of a truly solitaire game. The bot wasn't doing that much to affect me. But that doesn't happen every turn. Sometimes the bot is taking the places you want to go. Yeah, and other than that, I really love rondel games, and I really love that this one is variable. Like the inner ring, there's 5 of, there's always the same 5, but they can come out in randomized orders. And that subtle, slight difference of that you come here first and then go here, you might gain a red worker that you then immediately spend a red worker, and that would give you a green that you spend. So sometimes they come out in a perfect order. Other times you're like, I gotta go here, then here, then here. So like it's totally different that way. And then based on what you focus on, like you can focus on filling your board with inventions and try and produce a bunch so they all go to the end of the track. You can try and get like penance out, which I did here, so that as you're doing actions, you're gaining bonus actions or really nice rewards. You can try and expand the city, and that's going to keep your hex tile count low. That one's a little bit harder to do because you have to find a nice way to get construction goods. It's not a strategy that generates a lot of resources, so you need some tiles that give you that during production to keep that going. And then the final one is just be energizing. Energize is a funny thing because it's just because you built a tile doesn't mean you're going to be the one to energize it. And sometimes it works that, excuse me, you might build a tile and somebody then immediately energizes it. So you have to, it's a timing thing where you look around and be like, do I want to build this tile? Because everybody's got a lot of energy. Maybe wait until they spend their energy on the crappy tiles and then you can energize the really nice ones. And then the Mega Machine, there's what, 5 or 6 different Mega Machines that have different wards, different tiles, and different rewards. So that can change the game completely. But other than that, yeah, it's just an all-around decent rondel action selection game with some really weird, like end game scoring. What do pilgrims have to do with steampunk? It's a little bit added on there. I kind of get how they connected it through like the Lorax mechanic, where you're like, well, I want to build a factory, so I have to go to the forest and chop down a ton of trees, which angers this little fox thing, and the fox will come and wreck my machine. We didn't really see that, right? Right at the end, I did destroy my windows, so I didn't have as much workers. If you get wrecked on the forest, you produce 2 steam instead of 3. That's not a bad one. It can be hard. The worst one is the water, and obviously there's 2 spaces to get water. If the water one gets wrecked, you only move your cubes 1 time when you produce, or no times when you follow. So never want to take too much water if you can avoid it. And then the mountain's really easy. It just makes activating your building 2 and building 3 much more expensive. But, excuse me, I really never activated buildings 2 or 3 this game, so I could have just stacked mountain tiles and never gotten rid of them. Would have been fine. But yeah, I did forget one thing at the end of the game too. This tile says 1 time when you produce, you can do it for 0 steam by turning in this tile. It's like a get out of jail type card. And at the end of the game, if you haven't used it, you get a bump up 3 of your tokens. So I could technically do that at the end of the game. I would probably go 1, 2, 3. That would have removed this, which gives me what, 8 extra points. That's actually really nice. And then it would, because I have 1 more empty space, and then it gives me 3 more. So I guess technically I finished with 111 by turning that in. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this game, both the multiplayer and the solo. Have you played it before? Do you think you're planning on getting it? And as always, if I made any mistakes, feel free to comment below. Do include a timestamp on the video. That helps everybody out. Like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and let me know what you want to play. What's cool that's come out recently. I know there's been a lot of stress over tariffs and the Kickstarter campaigns coming in and shipping and all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be okay in the long run. In the short term, a lot of people are panicking, especially the people that this is their livelihood. Obviously, for me, it's just a hobby. So if less games come out or games are a little more expensive, personally, to me, it's not going to be a big deal. I understand for people that it is their livelihood. It is much more stressful period. And hopefully it all works out for the best. But yeah, we can keep that out of the comments below. And there's plenty of places to discuss that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Catch you later. Bye.